morning, everyone. It's just another day here with a newborn. Yes. So, first things first this morning is I actually need to give baby a bath. Today is our 1-month checkup at the hospital, and yeah, I need to give him a bath because I'd rather him be all nice and fresh going to the hospital than not. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is actually I'm prepping the area for after he's done with the bath so that I can dry him off and everything. And yes, I do it right here on top of my washing machine. That might seem a little odd, but it's what I do. I'm putting down a towel for extra cushion so that it's not uncomfortable. And I have all of his other stuff here. So like I have his washcloth that I'll use. Let me put that. I have clean clothes, diaper, and this is the towel that I'm actually going to dry him in. So first, his outfit, I need to open it up, get it all nice and open. He's already crying. And to get his diaper nice and open and ready to just be put on right away. And then the towel that I'm going to dry him in goes right on top so that I can dry him and then remove it. So, just like that. Now, this is all ready. Now I gotta get the bath itself ready. Now, my one piece of advice for baby baths. For Mary, I did have the big blow-up bath that we used, but we literally only used it a couple of times before we got really tired of using it because we had a smaller apartment and we didn't have the space to actually use it properly. I literally had to sit outside the bathroom, put the bath in the bathroom, fill it, and then wash her in the bath. It was so uncomfortable. It was just like, after a while, we were just like, whatever, we're just going to take a shower with her. And that's what we did. We just took a shower with her until she got a little older, and then we took baths with her. And then she grew into taking her own bath, that kind of thing. So, yeah. With this baby, I have decided not to buy a blow-up. I got rid of the old one because it got really nasty. I decided not to buy a blow-up tub or bath for the baby, or even one of the hard plastic ones, because I just find them a complete waste of space. Because what are you going to do after they grow out of it, kind of thing. But what I have got is this. Yeah, it's actually a little pop-out thing like this. And it pops. And I'm sure you can find bigger ones like this. But this is actually just the size I want, because I want to actually use it in the sink. Yes, I would just fill up the water in the sink and use the sink itself. But I don't know. I'm a freak when it comes to like germs and just nastiness in general. Even if you like scrub your sink every single day, it's still nasty, in my opinion. And I would do the kitchen sink, but I find that even grosser than the bathroom sink, just because you have dirty dishes in there all the time and all that stuff. Now, if I had a double basin sink where I had one for dirty dishes and the other one is probably where I would like dry dishes or something, I could take out the dry dishes because it's constantly clean. I wouldn't mind using that one as much. But I don't. I just have a one basin big sink. So this is my sink basin, and this will fit just fine right in there, just like that. And I can give the baby, and this wonderful sink attachment actually comes off, and you can change this to like a sprayer or a full function. So this is just really nice to have, and it's just the perfect size for George. better, George? Yeah? Of course, me wearing long sleeves was not the best choice, but I haven't changed into what I'm actually going to wear for the day yet. Yeah. So, my end of my sleeves have gotten quite wet, but that's okay. I'm going to be changing out of this anyways. But now I need to get ready because it's also my appointment. So it's both my appointment and the baby's appointment. So it's going to be hectic because the hospital is cracking down on kids in the hospital. Even newborn babies, when they're supposed to be there for an appointment, they're still cracking down on them. So like we all have to go to the hospital today because George has to go, but he can't come up to my appointment and he can't go to the place where I have to get blood work done. So Naoki has to watch him, but I still need the baby to go to his appointment. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting on everything that happens. It's going to be a lot of walking in and out of the hospital, which I find completely ridiculous. But it is what it is. We have arrived at the hospital, and now it's a game of pass the baby, I guess. Like, I have to go in and get like blood tests done and all that stuff. And then I come back out here and I'll pick up George. And I'll go back inside and do the baby appointment, and then bring the baby back outside, and then go to my appointment. Okay, picking up George now to go back inside, and yeah, halfway done, I guess. Okay. Trying to keep the wind off of George. Super windy. So we just registered, basically just turning in our appointment sheet and all that stuff, and now we just have to wait for our name to be called and go back for our appointment. Yeah, George? Yeah? Well, we are back home from the appointment, and oh my gosh, I need something to drink. Oh, hold on, like, yeah. I picked this up. It's like a Sakura wine, and I wanted to try it, so we're going to try it. I need a drink after today's appointment. Serious things, but not serious things are happening, and just not what I was expecting, but yeah. We will see how this goes. It says it's 10% alcohol. That is some strong Sakura wine. It's not wine, I don't think. It tastes like it tastes like an umeshu, pretty much. Yeah, this is not for you, Mary. No, you cannot have any of this. Wow, that is so much stronger than what I was expecting. But during George's exam, the doctor discovered 2 problems. After George's appointment, we then went and had a ultrasound done to further investigate the problems. And I'm going to butcher these names because they're very technical, and one is called an umbilical hernia, and it's actually supposed to be really common in babies, but I've never heard of it before. Yeah. Never heard any of my friends who've had babies, or like older people that I know who have had babies and stuff. No one has ever said anything about this, or maybe they've just forgotten to mention it because it's not very serious. I don't know. But basically, the umbilical hernia, the area where the umbilical cord is attached to the baby, comes through the abdomen. And after birth and the umbilical cord heals, that section of abdomen where it goes through is actually supposed to close up and like be done with. But apparently that didn't happen with George, or it didn't happen quick enough, and he developed a hernia, which is basically a small piece of intestine coming through the hole of his abdomen and basically making his belly button bulge out. Now, I noticed the bulging out of his belly button at the hospital, but I didn't really think anything of it because none of the nurses and none of the doctors said anything about it. So I was thinking that it was just normal and it would eventually like go away. I don't know. But at our 1 month appointment, the doctor saw that the belly button was like bulging out, and so she was like pressing around it, and which was unusual because none of the doctors ever did anything like that for Mary, like checking around the belly button. So I was like, why is she pushing on his belly button and everything? And it turns out he has an umbilical hernia. It's a simple fix usually, and it will go away in about 9 months. But the procedure to do it is just annoying. You don't have to have surgery unless after 9 months to a year it still doesn't go away and it's still persisting. Then they will consider doing surgery. But before any of that, within these first 9 months, they just use tape. Yeah. Doctor basically put tape on top of his belly button and then pushed the belly button in, basically pushing the hernia back into the rightful place, and then taping it all together. And it has to stay like that for a really long time. I have to go back every week, and the doctor will change the tape and reassess and all that kind of stuff, but it's like every week that we have to go back to the hospital now. And I am not looking forward to that at all. I wish I had known about this to even just keep a lookout for it, but I've never heard of it or my friends having it or anything, so it wasn't even on my radar to keep an eye out for. So yeah, if you ever think something looks weird on your child, check it out. Don't be like me and be like, oh, it'll be okay. Follow your mom instinct and like do something or say something. Even if the nurses end up saying, oh, it's nothing, it's normal, it's okay. Say something. Yeah, I didn't. And now I regret not saying something in the hospital about it because the doctors could have maybe caught it earlier. The second problem. You're hungry now, aren't you? Now, this one is a bit more complicated to explain what's wrong, but it's another type of hernia. Yeah, for some reason, George has hernias. He has a hernia problem. So I'm hoping that won't carry on into his adult life where he gets hernias easily. But yeah, you never know. Okay. I'll get you some food. Second one is called a hydrocele hernia. I know I'm butchering that name, but I'll have it up here on the screen for you. And basically, one of his testes has water, extra water in it that's not supposed to be there. Yeah. And it's caused by an opening in the abdominal wall that water just kind of like seeps down into his testes. And yeah, it can be problematic, but it usually solves itself within the first year. So there's no treatment really for it without surgery. The doctor basically said, just keep an eye out on it, and if it gets irritated or if there's an extra bulge above the area, then you need to come in and we will reassess. But if not, we will just wait for the 1 year to pass and see if it goes away on its own. And at the 1 year mark, we will reassess with a new ultrasound and discuss if we need to do surgery or not. Yeah, that's the basic gist of that one. We have ultrasound pictures here. It's just, yeah, I was not prepared for my 1 month appointment to go so awry as it did, because, yeah, was not expecting that. And the reason why we have to keep an eye out above the area is because where the initial breakthrough in the abdominal wall actually happens above the testes, so the water leaks down into them, and you have to keep an eye on that area to see if intestines make another hernia, like a regular hernia kind of thing, into the spot that is leaking the water. So if that happens, we have to go in, and yeah, I don't know what will happen. They might have to do surgery. Now we have to basically wait everything out for the next year. It's not a quick fix on anything. A part of me kind of just wants them to do surgery as a quick fix, but I know surgery on infants is not a good idea, nor do I really want surgery. These are the ultrasounds of the hydrocele hernia, and basically here, this is his testy, and all this vacant black space is water that's not supposed to be there. These are the umbilical hernias, and basically you can see how it's coming up through, like this is intestine and it's coming up through. Yeah, so they're pushing this down back into the abdominal cavity where it's supposed to be with tape, and then just keeping it closed. The next time I change George's diaper, which will be any minute now, I will show you what it looks like, how they have the umbilical hernia taped up, so that you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. They've basically, it's like taking your skin and then folding it like this, and they've taped it across here to keep it down and in, I guess. Yeah, you'll see in a second. So let's look at what his umbilical hernia procedure looks like. So as you can see, it's right here. I'm just going to pull this diaper down. It looks really bad, but it's not. It's basically tape here that's pushing in on his belly button. They put a piece of cotton ball here to like make sure it stays down. And then they've squeezed his belly together and then put this translucent soft tape. Look, it's really soft, but it's just to keep everything in place. And they've given me extra tape so that if these sides really come up really bad, I can put some more tape down to keep it closed. But then next week they will change all of this and put new tape on and everything. But if you have more questions for me on this, I can try to answer them in the comments below. But your best bet is just to Google. Google is your friend, because that's where I've gotten most of my information from. So yeah, like, just even like I had to Google. I didn't know the technical names of this because I didn't have the paper with me right away. So I had to Google things like belly button hernia, because I knew it was a hernia, but I didn't know the technical name. I didn't know it was called an umbilical hernia. But I knew it was in the belly button area, so I was like, belly button hernia, and it came up automatically with all of this stuff about the umbilical hernia. Or like you can Google water in testes hernia, things like that. Pretty much it for the 1 month appointment. I had my portion as well, which is my physical exam at the 1 month mark, and everything was fine. My uterus is back to normal and all that jazz. Basically, I went in, sat in the chair, they examined me, I got out of the chair, the doctor was like, you're cleared to take a bath now if you so wish, and if you want to have sex. But they were like, just be careful and try and use contraceptives right now because you can still get pregnant even though you haven't had your first period yet. And I'm like, yes, I know. And I went into this whole thing about Irish twins and how I don't want Irish twins right now. And they were like, oh, that's what that's called? Basically, if you have one baby, like George, and then within 12 months, you have another child because you got pregnant right away, it's called Irish twins. I don't know why it's called that, but that's what I've always known it as. And so I explained that to them, and they found that really interesting because they've never heard it called that. So, yeah, and I was like, no, I do not need no Irish twins in my life right now. George is enough for right now. Yeah. Talk to me again in a couple of years, and we'll see if we have another baby. Well guys, I think it is time that I put a lid on this emotional day for now. Yeah, I'll keep you updated, but yeah, there's not much I can really do. So, anyways, I hope you guys are having a much better day than I am right now, and I'll be seeing you in my next vlog. So, bye!